But you know how many people came out of retirement after he retired? I think Sting retired before and came out of retirement. You know how fast Tom Brady came out of retirement after he announced his retirement? It was like crazy. And after watching Revolution, I feel like Sting has a lot to offer. Now, the way this ties in the WWE, because I would like Cody to finish his story this way. Cody loses at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns beats Hulk Hogan's record for the longest reigning WWE champion in WWE modern history. Not talking about the Bruno Sammartino days. We're talking about the Hulk Hogan's record. And we can have Sting come from the rafters and neutralize the bloodline, eliminate that threat like he did to the NWO and WCW, and Cody wins the title at SummerSlam with the help of Sting. And this will be big for fans. This will be huge because WCW and Sting got a bad hand in the WWE. Like WCW ain't win no big matches when Vince McMahon brought them. Shawn Michaels beat Flair. Sting lost to Triple H. Booker T got milk and cereal and flour poured down his dreads and drawers at the grocery store against Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is the way that WWE and WCW can give the fans what they want and do right by WCW. But yo, that would be crazy. Imagine Sting coming off from the rafters after Roman and Rock popping it after preventing Cody from, finishing his story at WrestleMania 40. That would be so hard. And Sting, they owe Sting one in WWE. And Sting, I know he regretted that he ain't go to WWE a lot sooner than he did, because Sting would be way huger. We'll be talking about Sting like we talk about Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels. If he would have had those matches with The Undertaker he never had. And that's another part of unfinished business he can handle, is have that match against The Taker. If Taker wants to give, Sting a mulligan and say, okay, I'll come back for that match, even though I said I'm done. But yeah, give Sting another shot, because after watching Revolution, Sting should not be done, and he has a lot to give. Now, I mean, WrestleMania is right around the corner, so I'm not asking him to get in the ring, but maybe he can do a little clearing out the ring after WrestleMania, or clearing out the ring on the Raw, or, do something like here and there, and then help Cody finish his story at SummerSlam. That would be so freaking ill. But Sting has a lot to give, man. And I would not like to see Sting go out like this. Just like I don't want to see Ric Flair go out in front of a small ass crowd. I think Ric Flair should have his last match in AEW, and Ric Flair should have his last match in WWE, just like he had his last match in NWA, because Ric Flair contributed on a much bigger stage than his last match, tag teaming with Jay Lethal. So not only do we know Rock is a great businessman, he's the ultimate team player and the ultimate family member. He loves his cousin Roman Reigns. That's his little cousin. And when Roman was trying to get the crowd in Phoenix to say acknowledge me, they could care less. And Roman got so mad that he just wanted to leave Phoenix. He was like, I'm about to be out. Paul Heyman said, pump your brakes. The Rock is coming. So The Rock is coming. You know what I mean? He told Roman that, like, The Rock is the tribal chief. So The Rock came, got back in full Rock Hill mode, and said Phoenix is the number one state or city for crackheads and meth addicts. And the crowd loved it. So, MJF and The Rock is probably the only two people I know that can shit on the crowd and the crowd end up laughing and not hating their guts. Because it's just so ill. But Roman and The Rock had that come to Jesus meeting in front of 20,000 people in Phoenix, Arizona. Roman said, The Rock was like, can you smell? Roman grabbed his hand and was like, I need you to acknowledge me. And Rock looked at that dude, and The Rock was like, stared at him. He was like I thought it was gonna go left, but it didn't. He was like, I acknowledge you as my tribal chief. And I'm like, the crowd was like, you sold out, you sold out, you sold out. Not really, because The Rock never said he was the tribal chief. That's some stuff that WWE made up. The Rock was always known as the Brahma Bull and the Great One. You know what I'm saying? So not only is The Rock is probably the most popular crossover star and wrestler in WWE history, Rock is on the board of directors. He owns it. So it's his job to recognize Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. And that showed, that solidified the unity that got the bloodline going. And it wasn't done with that. So The Rock was like, okay, I acknowledge you. And not Roman, but The Rock says, do you smell? Then Roman puts his hand out. The Rock gives him the microphone. And it's what the bloodline is cooking. And I know you WWE marks love that. I know y'all bloodline stands. You know what I'm saying? Y'all love that. I mean, y'all was getting hyped when y'all seen that. So The Rock didn't sell out, you idiot Cody sexual marks that don't touch grass. The Rock did his job by acknowledging his biggest star in the company right now, Roman Reigns, as the tribal chief. The Rock never wanted to be the tribal chief. He wanted to lay the smackdown on his little cousin, and then pat him in the back like, yeah, we family, but I had to whoop your ass in the biggest main event in WrestleMania history. But Cody changed it and said he chose, Roman Reigns. He wants the rematch, which I didn't like because Roman Reigns should be going against The Rock at WrestleMania. Cody, you shouldn't have changed your mind. And The Rock was like, oh, I don't mind that you changed your mind, but it's the way you did it. No, I am mad. Rock, you shouldn't be mad that he changed his mind because he put a monkey wrench on everything. Like, I went to LA, flew across country, seen Cody get his chance to finish his story, and he lost to Roman Reigns. Now, The Rock, you showing up talking about, should I sit at the bar? Should I sit at the booth? Or should I sit at the head of the table? You already got us hyped that we're going to get Roman Reigns. And then Cody's bald ego head looking ass don't say, oh, I choose Roman. No, you should have choose Seth. Why would you choose Roman? And I know people waiting for Drew McIntyre to get. No, Drew McIntyre can get his title shot at SummerSlam. If we can get The Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody, we rather see that than Seth and Drew at WrestleMania. I'm sorry. I mean, Drew McIntyre can just wait. So, like to see how this plays out, man. But The Rock did his job as the board of directors by acknowledging Roman Reigns as the tribal chief because he's the board of the directors. That's the same thing Vince McMahon would have done. That's the same thing Triple H, the vice president of Who Gives a Shit, would have done. He would have acknowledged Roman as the tribal chief. So shout out for The Rock for being the man and, putting his pride to the side. And Roman too, because Roman don't say, do you smell what the bloodline cooking? Roman put his ego to the side and said, give me the mic. Rock said, do you smell? Roman took the mic and said, what the bloodline is cooking. What do Roman usually say? He say, acknowledge me. So this shows that Cody Rhodes was such a donkey ass that he made the bloodline even more unified and made two of the most powerful guys in professional wrestling, The Rock and Roman, put their egos to the side. Roman acknowledged, The Rock acknowledged Roman as a tribal chief, and Roman said, do you smell what my big cousin and the bloodline is cooking? So it's all good. Cody is going to be in trouble in WrestleMania 40.
This Cody Rhodes, and you too, you walking emoji clown show of Seth Rollins. Here's the thing. If you don't accept this challenge, and we're giving you an option, if you don't accept it, then you know, and they know, and the world knows that The Rock will do everything in his power to make sure you don't win that title. And let me tell you something else, punk. There ain't a man back there that could stop The Rock from making that happen. You know where The Rock sits. You know The Rock sits at the board. You know The Rock owns it all, which means The Rock is your boss. And there ain't a man back there that could stop The Rock. It ain't no general manager. It ain't no vice president of who gives Triple H. It doesn't matter.
So, I know why black people love the bloodline. Because, WWE ain't gonna give the black people what they deserve. So, the closest thing to niggas having their own group that's successful is the bloodline. Look how they say Oos. What's up, Oos? What's up, Oos? Like, they'll never have Bobby in the street profits like, what up, nigga? What up, nigga? Look at day one. It's just day one. It's just me, Oos. It's just day one. It's just me, Oos. That's the equivalent of black people saying nigga. When Samoans say Oos, it's just me, nigga. Day one, it's just me, nigga. Like, Oos, you don't do me like that, Oos. You don't turn your back on me, Oos. Oh, you don't turn your back on me, nigga. You don't turn your back on me like that, nigga. Like, Bobby would never be able to say that on WWE TV. Swerve would never be like, oh, you got my back, nigga. You got my back, nigga. He ain't never gonna be able to say that to Keith Lee. So the closest thing to black people having someone say the N-word in professional wrestling is Oos. That's why black people love the bloodline so much. I mean, I called them meat swallowers and meat riders, but now I understand. Y'all love the bloodline because us as black wrestlers can't say the word nigga. You might have it on some GCW type bum shit. They might say nigga. They do anything at GCW, but you'll never hear the word nigga, even with the GGA. Vince McMahon said it a couple of times as a joke in WWE. In the segment with John Cena, Booker T made a mistake in a promo at Harlem Heat against Hulk Hogan. But as far as it's just me, nigga, day one, it's just me. You're not gonna get that. So that's what the Oos says. It's just me, Oos. Day one, shit, it's just me, Oos. Day one ish. That's the closest thing black people ever gonna get to say the N-word in WWE is Oos. What's up, Oos? What's up, Oos? No, what's up, Oos? Like, what's up, nigga? You know what I mean? It's the same thing, but it's just Samoan. They can say it all day. They can say it till the cows come home. What's up, Oos? You can't say it in WWE or AEW or Impact. You might can get away with it in MLW or GCW or XPW, ECW back in the day, Smoky Mountain, but no. So what us as black people have is, it's me, Oos. Day one, it's just me, Oos. Because in our heads, we saying, it's just me, nigga. Day one, it's just me, nigga. We got that in our head, but we hearing, it's just us, Oos. Just day one, it's just us, Oos. It's just me, Oos. You know what I mean? In our head, it's like, it's just me, nigga. I'm going to get all of them, nigga. I'm going to get all of them, Oos. It's just me. So that's why I feel like the black people love the bloodline so much. Not because of the Romans, just because of the Usos. And that's the closest thing we'll have as a successful brotherhood in the WWE that's on top of the main event status. Now, I was watching two wrestlers out of their element, or not out of their element, just outside the ring. One was Matt Riddle. He was on the Ariel Helwani show. And the other one was Austin Theory. One acted like a class act and showed accountability. One acted like an asshole and a dickhead. And the person you thought was going to act like a dickhead and an asshole isn't Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was on the Ariel Helwani show, and and showed accountability on why he got fired. He said, I did weed and coke. I did coke. Weed was legal, but I did coke. Strippers and coke. Blase, blase. It was my fault. They warned me again, and I thought they wasn't watching me, and I did it again. Meanwhile, Austin Theory gets into an argument with, a reporter, because the reporter says wrestling is fake. And Austin Theory blows up and it's like, blah, 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 blah. Ah, fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. You look like an asshole, Austin Theory. And the last person that said wrestling was fake got slapped by Dutch Schultz, and it looked cool, but Dutch Schultz lost his career over that, and Vince McMahon had to pay that person $500,000, and it ruined Dutch Schultz's career because he could have been Kane, he could have been Undertaker, but he acted like an asshole, slapped the reporter, and showed that he was a legal problem for Vince and the WWE. They had to fire him. Austin Theory gets mad because the guy calls wrestling is fake, which it is. It's a work. I'm not saying that what you guys do aren't some of the hardest things in the world to do, but it's scripted. And no one's going to say it's scripted. We wrestling fans know it's scripted. We're not going to call it fake, but outsiders is going to call it fake. You got to deal with it, but you can't go off and be like, fuck you, this and that, and this and that, because that's what the reporter wanted. You could have said that orgasm I gave your mom was real, though. Ha 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 ha. Or, you know what I mean? And that would have looked a lot better than you going off like you wanted to slap the hell out the reporter. Because it made you look like an asshole. You know what I mean? And what if you would have hit him or pushed him down? WWE would have got sued and you would have got fired. So people need to act incoherently when someone comes to a wrestler in public or at the airport and call wrestling fake. That's just a troll. I watch wrestling in WWE, AEW, and my friends were like, oh, that shit fake. I'm like, oh, no, it ain't. It's scripted. I'm like, niggas don't really give a fuck for real. Conversation over. Conversation is over. Don't get into a drawn-out argument with somebody that's not a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? And waste your time and their time. Just be like, I don't give a fuck. Conversation over. You get money, you watch wrestling. Fuck these broke motherfuckers that don't know what they watching, that just want to kill your happiness. And Austin Theory showed that he's not ready to be a top WWE superstar. He's not ready to be a WWE champion, a world champion, undisputed champion, or a world heavyweight champion, because you're getting mad at reporters for calling it fake. Like, you're supposed to ignore shit like that. The Rock probably had that shit thrown at him a couple of times. Did he get mad and cuss out the report? No, he probably ignored that shit. That's where The Rock and Roman Reigns is where they at. They know how to conduct themselves against troll reporters. You know what I'm saying? But Austin Theory, you just made yourself look bad. You know what I mean? By cussing out a pencil neck, needle dick reporter for calling something fake. You know what I mean? You're not in the UFC. You're not in the NFL. You're not in the WBF, IBF, boxing. Real sports. So don't get mad like somebody is lying when they say that. Just ignore them or have a slick comeback. Like, oh, your mom, that orgasm I gave your mom is real. You see what I'm saying? That's all you had to do, Austin Theory. You ain't have to act a fool.
You mentioned rehab. The original offense, was it not public? Did people not know?
No, they didn't make any of the offenses public. I think they just wanted to keep it on the hush-hush, which I completely understand,
Yeah, sure.
And they punished me. Like, I got fined. And then,
can I ask what it was for?
What?
The offense.
Well, I feel, well, you're allowed to smoke weed. I went to the strip club and did some cocaine a couple times.
Okay.
And I failed a drug test for that.
That was the first one.
That was the first one. That was for all of them. It was cocaine each time. And I go, hey, guys, I want to show you no more problems. Hey, you guys can test me for the next 10 weeks every week, whatever. And I did that, and I was fine. Didn't fail one test, whatever, didn't do anything. When I thought I was in the clear, went out and partied a little bit, and they gave me a random test at my house, and I failed that. And shortly after that, they had me go to rehab.
What is rehab like? Like, is it extremely boring?
Dude, it's horrible.
Where are you, by the way? What state?
I was in Tampa.
Okay.
It was, I shouldn't say horrible.
They put you in the strip club capital of the world? I mean, it seems like a bit of a...
Dude, anytime we left, it would be strip club, liquor store,
yes.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow, this place, it's a real trigger for you guys, Honestly, rehab, it was brutal to an extent. but at the same time, like, I don't know, I had a lot of fun.
You
There's
did?
there's a
How?
lot of people in there, and we're all going through something. It's like almost kind of like if you're in the army and you got a mean drill sergeant and you're like, oh man, he's the worst. You guys kind of group up and you make
Bond.
friends. Yeah, you bond and you all have a similar, vice or something like that. Even if it's something different, you can relate, like you're struggling with something, or usually if you're using drugs, something's not going right in life. Like for me, I was working pretty hard, but I was also went through a divorce, and with my work schedule, I really don't get to see my kids, and I don't get to go up and visit them as much, and that, and I feel like I just replaced family with like partying on the side because it's really the only option I had, or at least that's the only option I thought I had at the time.
What'd you just say?
I mean, it's fake. Like, you're not
What do you mean?
actually
What are you
hitting each other.
Hold on a second. You brought me here and you're gonna talk to me like this?
Yeah,
Hey, no, man.
I mean, no.
Just because you're in charge of some shit here, man, don't mean you can talk to me like this.
I didn't mean to offend you.
Oh, you're saying what I do is easy, and you're in front of all your people in here talking about my job's easy. You couldn't walk a damn day in my shoes. Got me in here. Dude, are you kidding me, man? I'll smack the shit out of you right now. I'm not playing around. Don't bring me all the way here for some media, man. This guy's talking his head off, man. It's his problem, dude.
EW is back. Man, now we all know Sting retired, but Revolution was a bomb-ass pay-per-view, man. They just got back to wrestling, having good matches, having good commentary, got rid of all the silly bullshit with the angles. Even the matches that wasn't heavily advertised still had oohs and ahs, still had this is awesome. This is what AEW is about, putting people in the ring that can hold their own, whether they got a push or not. They're giving it their 100%. Also, we got to look at Dynamite. The Dynamite was good. The Hook versus Brian Cage match for the FTW title was awesome. That main event, Cal Fletcher versus Real Ospreay, awesome. Then the Young Bucks signing, Okada, the AEW, the Rainmaker. And wait a minute. There was not one fucking roll-up on the whole pay-per-view or on Dynamite. And I'm telling you, them roll-ups in AEW, that's one of the eras in AEW that I would like to forget. And it seems like them roll-ups happened a lot in 2023. And I'm glad that, that maybe Matt and Nick as EVPs are really doing their job as EVPs and taking over the booking. Because I know Matt and Nick had a lot to do with the booking when it first started in 2018. And it seems like this is the booking that's going away from Tony Khan style. And, going back to the old style booking where we're not going to reinvent the wheel. Just put the people you got in front of you that we want to see. Samoa Joe, Hangman, Okada. And this also proves that WrestleMania isn't as big as it used to be and doesn't mean as much as it used to because the top stars, the best in-ring wrestlers are signing with AEW. And it's only been out 4 years and WWE been out forever because WrestleMania got too fucking greedy with the 2 nights. So you got guys, when they negotiate, probably going to tell Triple H like Ospreay, Jay White, Okada. They heard that promo that CM Punk said to MJF. If you go ahead, main event night 4, and buy one, get one free extravaganza, they probably said at the negotiation table is, I do not want night 1 of WrestleMania. When I wrestle in WrestleMania, I want to, that's the last wrestling that people are going to see that night. I want to wrestle on night 2 because I remember WrestleMania was special. It wasn't 2 nights. And Vince probably telling Okada, Ospreay, Jay White, they can't promise that. Oh, well, I'm going to go wrestle in Wembley in front of 100,000 people. I know it's not going to be a next day of wrestling after that. Oh, I'm going to go to All Out in Chicago and perform on that. AEW beat out Jay White. AEW beat out WWE for Jay White, Okada, and Real Ospreay, the 3 best in-ring wrestlers in the world that was free agents. So I feel like AEW is back now. And with with the VB signing Okada and replacing Kenny Omega with Okada and suspending Hangman, they all about this money, bro. And like I said, damn, that just got me thinking. All when Okada signed, Ospreay signed, it's like WrestleMania must not mean as much anymore because WWE can match dollar for dollar, but you don't want to be buried on night one of WrestleMania. And then it's 8 matches the night after that. Like, it's bullshit. WrestleMania is not WrestleMania. It's no main event a night one. Roman main evented every night 2 main event that it was. So, like, I like to iterate. There's no main event a night one if Roman Reigns is closing it out every year. So people don't want to do that. They're like, I'm not doing that. I know if I main event an AEW pay-per-view, it's nothing coming after that but Dynamite on Wednesday. So shout out to AEW for bouncing back. And I might give y'all a couple of dollars, man. I'm going to watch these last few Dynamites and see if y'all do a roll-up. If y'all start doing roll-ups again, I'll stop watching again. And I will not spend money again. But like I said WWE was trash many a times, and they improved. So once AEW was trash, I said they was trash. And now AEW has improved. So I keep my word. I call it straight down the line.